Welcome, and thank you for joining Between Sessions with Justin and Challie.
Just a quick disclaimer before we start. This podcast is for educational and conversational purposes only. It's not intended to replace therapy, counseling, or professional mental health care. We are sharing lived experiences and reflections, not prescriptions, and we encourage our listeners to seek professional guidance when needed.
Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for joining this week.
Today, we are going to be talking about the pressure associated with trying to have the perfect summer, since it is finally starting to warm up outside.
Yes. And I know for me, I tend to always look forward to summer of how great it's going to be. And then the pressure and life still does show up. So it can be kind of hard to I know for me, sometimes I set unrealistic expectations and then can feel really disappointed when I don't meet them, even though it was never going to be met because they were unrealistic. What does it mean for you to have a perfect summer?
I mean, for
Quote,
me,
quote.
if it were just me, I would be totally fine just being a couch potato,
Yeah.
and just hanging out at home and doing my garden. That would be fine. I feel more pressure associated with my son.
Okay.
Probably in the next couple of years, my daughter. But right now,
Yeah.
going from her bedroom to the kitchen is a vacation, so she's fine.
Fair.
I have noticed as my son's getting older, I feel like this overwhelming pressure to have him have the perfect childhood summer. And for me, I don't know, that always means going places. And my husband has really tried to help me with this, where I don't know, he's very kind, but then sometimes he'll sit me down and he'll be like, stop planning vacations. We have so much to do at home.
Yeah.
Because I just feel like if we're not doing something every weekend during the summer, then it's a wasted summer.
We're wasting the time, right?
Yeah.
I so relate to that. I can so agree with the piece of feeling like we have to go and do things when we really can find enjoyment at home too and enjoy the summer at home.
Mhm.
Okay. I don't know the aspect of having a kid, but I can think back of the times when I was younger and being out of school. I don't know if my mom had the idea of a perfect summer, but I loved summer and I would cry and get into a weird depressive state as school was coming back around and would almost feel like I had wasted the summer, even though I'd gone to summer camp for Boy Scouts and been in the water and done the things. So I don't know if there's ever, at least speaking for me, putting pressure on doing enough. I don't know if in that mindset, if it ever hit enough. I had incredible summers. Now looking back on it too, I had incredible summers and I still put this unrealistic pressure on myself and I can relate to even still doing that now.
Even last summer, I had gotten us all season passes for water safari.
Mhm.
It's from my house, maybe an hour
Okay.
tops. So really not that far. So I'm this is great. We're gonna spend every other weekend.
Mhm.
I'm gonna have Fridays off. We're gonna go all the time and it's gonna be great. And did not even factor in that I was pregnant last summer.
Oh.
So I can't take a 7-year-old to a water park pregnant without some type of help. So we had to go around my husband's schedule too.
Mhm.
And I think we ended up going maybe 3 times,
Okay.
but it just wasn't at the end of the summer, I didn't feel like I had gotten my money's worth and done
Yeah.
what I wanted to do.
Even though we probably did after the one visit.
And we got to go because we went to New Jersey and we went to Diggerland because if
Yeah.
you have season passes for water safari, then you can go to Diggerland.
Oh, that's so
So I
cool.
was like, I'm getting my money's worth and we're driving to New Jersey. And we
Oh, I do remember
did.
that on the weekend. You did that?
Yep.
So I feel like so many times we can build up so much pressure and then thinking about this from the kid's perspective and then you being a mom, I'm sure the kid had and me as a kid, I would have had a good enough time hanging out and doing things, even though I put unrealistic pressure on myself kind of as I got older in that sense. But I think there's so much pressure as a parent to plan the perfect summer when odds are they would really just enjoy time not being in school. Maybe yes, obviously a trip or being outside, I mean, for me, like being in the water was a really big thing, but like they don't have as much of that pressure or that expectation that we might build into it that then turns into guilt afterwards. Okay. I remember we kind of covered something along those lines in like the Christmas episode.
Yeah.
Like we might put these really big expectations and a lot of pressure on things when the kids are kind of just happy doing whatever and many times just spending time.
Yep.
So, okay. For me, I can so relate to the piece of like wanting to plan so many things. And every time there's a nice day or I'm looking at the weather, I'm like, oh my God, we have to be outside. If not, we're wasting that time. I don't,
Yes.
being in upstate New York, we have past couple years brutal winter.
Mhm.
So I'm like trying to take every opportunity to be outside, but sometimes I have to take that step back and remind myself that it's okay to rest and we're not like wasting that time. It's not a bad thing if we choose to stay inside when it's 95 degrees out.
Yes. Yes.
What are ways that you feel like you have been able to make summer good or enjoyable or enough?
Well, last year I did this a little bit, but I'm definitely gonna sit down and do it again this year. Is we kind of sit down and we say like, let's make a list of things we want to do.
Ooh.
And then we kind of look at it like, all right, well, we have 17 vacations. So let's narrow it down to like one. But then kind of going through like, I don't know, like what is it about this place that you like? Oh, well, maybe we could do this and kind of picking out like what it
Mhm.
is that we like so much about traveling and picking out those pieces because also it's expensive
Right.
AF. Gas is like through the roof. Like, I don't want to travel this year. So, if I can stay closer to home, that would be great. I did promise my son a weekend trip to Legoland.
Ooh.
So that'll be our one like trip. And
Yeah.
then my family, well, technically my husband's family, but they're mine now. We go to camp for a week
Yeah.
every August. So that's something that we really look forward to. And that's pretty much the only like getaway, like overnight plans that we have. And then, so maybe just, I kind of want to sit down and see, like, I might want to go to water safari once. Like, I don't need season passes, but might want to go once.
Yeah.
But again, like last summer I was pregnant, this summer I have a baby. So it's, I'm giving myself grace because I had the mentality of like life doesn't have to like stop when you have a baby. But now I'm kind of like, well, it can slow down a little.
Which might be, for you, might be a way to build in some of that rest because, I mean, if you're similar to me in the sense that like, we put a lot of pressure to show up and do everything many times for everybody else, not always for ourselves. And that can be exhausting. So that might be your kind of build in to slow down and enjoy that moment rather than having to plan the things for the other people too. I find myself doing that more often. And I think it's been a bit of a mindset shift. I know for me, maybe it's been being able to be more present and allowing some of that grace of just like enjoying the simple things, enjoying like the smaller moments. And you'll relate to this, but like I planted some seeds for flowers and it was really cool to, like, see them progress as they've gone, where when I had planted a garden before, I planted it all, I didn't really wanna wait for it, I ended up, like, killing everything once it started to grow because I wasn't being patient, I wasn't appreciating the moment because I had wanted it to be like, "Oh, I wanted to have the vegetables and I want it to be now," and then I got bored with it. So then I, like, let it become a jungle, didn't trim any of it, and it all died anyways. So this year, I started smaller so I can appreciate the 9 pots of plants that I have rather than 30.
Yeah.
And I know you said you were able to start a garden this year, and it's something you're really enjoying at home.
Yes. Yeah. Last year I tried. I
Okay.
really did. But like I was so lazy last summer. I was so just pregnant
Fair.
and I thought you were gonna say fat.
No! If any built-in excuse, it is to be pregnant.
Yes, pregnant and fat.
Fair.
But yeah, so I like did not take good care of my plants
Mhm.
and they died, but also I used it as a learning experience, and I talked to a friend of mine who gardens, and I explained to them, like, what was going on. Like, I didn't know if you're gonna have a vegetable garden, you need to plant flowers too for the pollinators.
That was something you told me this
Yes,
year.
I
That's
had no
so
idea.
interesting.
So this year, I really was like, I'm doing this. So I got 8 raised garden beds off of Amazon, and my husband has put together 7. And I am certain this weekend he's putting together the 8th. I just have that feeling that that's going to happen.
Are you manifesting it?
And I started some seeds inside, and I got Brussels sprouts were the big one that I got. I planted them outside on Mother's Day, and then what did we get the night of Mother's Day? Frost, and they are dead. And I'm still like, they're still there, and I'm still holding out hope that they're gonna, come back. But I'm holding out hope. But I'm so into it. It's so like, I don't know how to explain it. It's so rewarding, and it hasn't even
Yeah.
like nothing's happened yet. But I like last night, I was out there at last night wrapping them all in plastic so that the frost didn't get them. And I was like, I can't believe I am devoting this much time to these little sprouts. But I'm like, oh, like last night I was laying in bed with my husband, and I'm like, I want to go outside and check on them and make sure they're okay. And he's like, no, you don't. And I'm like, but I kind of do. So it's been really nice. And yeah, it's something I can do at home. The Easter Bunny got Richard a gardening set so
Ooh,
that he could help garden.
that's what I was just gonna ask was like, is that something then you can include the family in so then it feels like you're doing more? Because you are, but more in terms of at home base rather than having to travel.
Yes, and also it gives me an
Okay.
excuse to be outside where,
Yeah.
like, he can run around and play outside and I can be out there too.
Yeah.
So that way, even if we're not doing something together, we're still together. He can still be like,
Yeah.
"Mom, watch this," and we're still, like, together. So, yes, it's been very good, and they did survive the frost last night.
Thank goodness.
Oh.
A couple things that I kind of heard out of that was the joy and reward of like doing the thing and seeing it through also. And I think that is a way that we can challenge this idea of like a perfect summer that puts so much pressure on us is challenging it with finding the joy in the small things.
Yes.
I never knew how much work it took for like these people with these beautiful landscaped yards and things. I'm like, oh my God. So I always viewed it as a chore before. So I have been able to this year change my mindset a bit and view it as like pouring into my environment to make it feel better. And I'm finding joy in the little things such as like weeding the flower bed or weeding the front yard. I then have something to show for it too, which has been so awesome.
Mhm.
But I never knew the amount of work that had to be put into it. Oh my goodness.
Dude, my husband loves mowing the lawn. It's like the weirdest
It's like a
thing.
tranquil thing for them.
Yeah. No, I don't even know how to turn the thing on.
I would have a hayfield.
I'm really glad that we started dating in like March. So I'm like, perfect. You're just in time to mow the lawn because I don't know how to work it. Yeah,
What else do you think puts pressure on us to like feel like we have to have the perfect summer?
I got one. Social media,
Ah,
right?
oh my God.
Social media, like you see on TikTok and Facebook and everywhere, like
Hot girl summer.
I'm thinking of it. I guess I'm just thinking from the mom perspective because I see all these like
Oh,
fun family trips and fun
yeah.
family activities. And I'm just like, I picked a cucumber. Like, so I guess just maybe not letting that get to me.
Yeah.
And
That like comparison piece. I think that's a huge piece that plays a role into having a perfect summer because thinking about it, people are sharing just the best parts of their summer,
Mhm.
even sometimes if it's fabricated. They might not even be having that good of a time. The amount of times that I've seen the amount of times that I've seen like a family stop their bickering and arguing because mom wanted to take a picture
Oh, I saw
and
that.
I loved
I did that in Disney.
it. We're gonna look like we're having a good time.
We had a great time in Disney, but there was one day that I don't remember what Richard and I were bickering about, and he's crying, and I'm like, "We're in Disney!" And then we took a pause, and I'm like, "Listen, we are in Disney. Like, let's just take a minute." And then I'm pretty sure I have pictures where like his cheeks are still red, and I'm like, "Yeah, it was really hot out." Like, best
See,
day ever with my mini me, and I'm just like, yeah, no, we were just yelling at each other 5 minutes ago, but I paid thousands for this Disney trip, so I'm putting it on Facebook. They're all gonna know I was there and had a good time. Yeah, it's so funny behind the scenes.
Yeah. I'm so guilty of it, of like, "Oh, wow, they had, like, such a good" who knows if they
Mhm.
did? Like, I know for me now, it's more important for me to have that enjoyable time in the moment than comparing myself to others, but god, does that creep in sometimes. Like, I know it, but my brain doesn't always agree with it, and sometimes I'll still find myself in that comparison and downing myself about it.
I've stopped posting a lot.
Mhm.
And I don't know why, but I almost feel like that's helped so much because there's no comparison. Because if you look
Mhm.
on my Facebook, we don't do nothing. We do nothing. We don't leave our house because I don't post anything. Like we just do fun little things. Like tonight, my son and I and his bestie are going to like a Pokemon card thing at a card shop, and it's gonna be great. And I might post about it now that I'm talking about it. I'm like, I gotta take a picture so people know that I let my kid leave the house. But, like, I really don't take that many pictures because I'm just so living in the moment, and not posting it so much is actually very therapeutic.
It's like almost protecting your peace in a sense that you don't have to feel as though you have to get the perfect picture or you have to do this to almost have like a pressure of keeping up with.
Keeping up with the Joneses.
Yeah.
Yes, maybe that's what it is too, is, like, I guess I was always so, like, "Okay, this needs to be perfect because we need to
Yes.
document the perfection," whereas now I'm like, "Whatever, whatever, don't it's not perfect, but we're having fun, doesn't matter because it's
I
our thing."
have found so much more beauty in the pictures that were taken of like the experience in the moment rather than the like posing for perfection and set it up because I'll be so honest, I was like a little crazy when it came to it. I would like perfectly align something. Wait, no, stay there, hold that smile. Dog, you gotta move this way. The tree bag's there, move out of there. Like all the things. And then like by the point in time I got done running around, the person or like normally my husband and the dog are like looking at me like I don't even have a smile anymore because you've spent 5 minutes moving all the things to make it perfect. Like
Mm,
you took that much time out of actually enjoying the time. So I found they end up looking happier and more joyful, just kind of the candids or like the in the moment rather than the making it picture perfect.
yes, I love the candids.
Yeah, that's something that I don't know when that exactly changed for me. I think that's, like, been more recently of just being able to be happier in the moment and not having to stage it to be perfect.
Even, like, checking in places on Facebook, like, I used to be, like, so guilty wherever I went, I would feel like I need to check in. Also, like, I would check in at the movie theaters, and I still do sometimes, but it's less out of obligation and more
Yeah.
like, I am so excited for this. Like, I'm so excited, so I'm gonna share it. Whereas it's not like, "Okay, I'm out of the house, I'm doing something, I gotta share it." Like, "Oh, no, I forgot, my life is ruined."
While we're on the social media piece, this is something that for me, I would put so much pressure on myself that I would like give myself stress and anxiety for like writing the perfect thing. And I know for me, like I sometimes or often suck at spelling. So like I would put so much pressure on myself for like posting the wrong thing. What if it offends someone? What if it doesn't capture this perfectly? And I would spend so much time doing that. A, it would ruin the moment that I was trying to do it in. And then B, like sometimes I would just end up not even posting it because I stressed myself out about it so much of like kind of holding that unrealistic expectation. And it wasn't authentic then. It was so staged and so like thought about that it ended up not even really being great.
Yeah.
Okay. I know another thing for me that like plays a role in having the perfect summer is, and this is a positive thing in a sense, but like I want other people to be happy. And so I tend to like maybe overextend or I overplan or overcommit to things and that I'm not either enjoying in the moment or we're just exhausted from doing
Do you always have to have an agenda?
previously. Yes, I'm working on that now.
Same.
It has been tough to break out of that like rigidness.
Last year when we went to camp for the week, it was such a culture shock because I was like, "All right, so what are we doing today?" And my husband was like, "I don't know." And I'm like,
What do you mean?
what are we doing?" And he's like, "Well, we don't have any plans." And I'm like, So what are we supposed to
Do
do?
you feel unproductive when that's the case?
Science? Yeah.
That's what it hits for me,
Mhm.
is like, we're just wasting this time, and my husband will be like, "We can rest." And I'm like, "Well, we can rest when we sleep. Like, we have to do things now." And he's, "No, like, you can rest. We don't have
Mhm.
to be productive every time or check every box." Kinda going with the flow. That has not normally been in my vocabulary.
No, I'm so used to like I go back to Disney where it's like you got your lightning lanes planned. I was maybe it's my ADHD. I don't know because
Ooh.
I had it all planned out and it was like not stressful because I had it all planned out. I mean, Disney's always a little stressful, but I feel like if I had just winged it, I would have had a breakdown.
Yeah. And okay, that can also be the difference of like trip versus vacation and type of trip. I've seen these things talking about like I have different friends for different trips, or then identifying the difference between like vacation and trip. And sometimes those skills can be so beneficial, but having flexibility, like maybe the camping trip doesn't need the agenda with the timestamps,
Mm,
but maybe the Disney trip that's beneficial and that can ease some of that stress.
mm,
So kind of knowing when to utilize that, I was always really far on this side of always rigid, always having everything planned. We're up at 8, we're at breakfast by 8:15, we're doing this by 9, like, and then guilty of when that didn't happen, close to meltdown
mm.
because crisis. Yeah.
I am also sometimes guilty of making agendas in my head
Oh, and not
and not sharing them and then getting so stressed out when people aren't following my made up agenda in my head.
oh,
And then I stress out and I'm like, we need to leave right now or we're going to be late. And it's like,
so like
late
for
for
what?
what?
Yep,
I'm like, we're going to be late for lunch. Do we have reservations?
in
My
my head.
head. Yeah. So
Oh.
I have really, and having a baby will humble you when it comes to like staying on track with plans and stuff. So I have really just gotten very good about just as much as I can, just going with the flow. And the first couple days at camp were really weird, but it really was so nice.
Yeah.
Cause I was like, what do you want to do today? I don't know. What do you want to do today? We can just relax and decide. And yeah.
There is something so healthy about that flexibility, but I know for me, I've really been on the rigid side, and then my husband on the opposite side, the very like go with the flow. And I think that's what makes us a pretty decent mix in that of like I overplan. He's more like, we'll see what happens. And I'm like, there is no seeing. I see it on paper.
Oh my god, we are twins. Seriously.
When you said the piece of making plans, the entire agenda, and our how to not communicating with anybody, the amount of times that I've gotten into like arguments with my husband or family because of that, and they're like, "Well, we didn't know," and I'm like, "Well, how did you not know? This is what I had planned."
Man, oh my god.
Yeah,
You're awful to live with.
so that's where room for improvement.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
I think being able to kinda take that step back and taking some of that pressure off and, like, challenging that is really the, like, being in the moment, the being able to enjoy the time rather because also having that agenda, I'm focused on the time to get to the next
Ooh,
thing, and
I
then
was
I'm
just thinking that, like, you're
yeah,
so focused on what's next, you're not enjoying what you're doing.
yeah, when this might be the most beautiful part of the day.
Yeah.
And we would miss it. Or those simple things, especially you with kids. And I mean, I can relate to this like with my dog. Not like a comparison in that sense, but
This man packed an overnight bag for his dog that was bigger than my suitcase that I packed for a week. So, it's an even comparison.
I know there were so many times that I would like miss the small things. Like when we had gone away recently, one of the like most enjoyable things was just sitting in the backyard at the Airbnb and playing fetch with my dog, and it's something that I have, like, more pictures of that than the other things because it was just so fun, where normally I would have been focused on where we had to go, what we were going to do, the next thing that was going to happen. I would have missed that opportunity, and I'm
Mhm.
sure you've probably can relate to that with kids of, like, most of the best things that happen are right in front of you, so
For sure.
okay.
So we got off track a little bit, but I think the takeaway is live in the moment and don't worry about pleasing other people that have nothing to do with your life.
Yeah.
But yeah, That's how I'm gonna be enjoying my summer.
So that's the ways to challenge that. Give ourselves grace. Be in the moment is a huge piece. And sometimes doing less is really more.
And listen, if all else fails, I will use AI or Chat GPT, and I will make pictures, and I will make everybody think that I traveled the world over the summer. You're gonna see pictures of me at Tokyo Disney.
So, in thinking about taking the pressure off the summer, if there's anybody that has experienced that or can relate to that, please share what you've done to be able to help challenge that because by all means, I'm no expert in this. It's something I'm really still working on. So,
Give me some ideas of free summertime
yeah,
activities for kids. That
heck
would be
yeah.
awesome.
And I mean, I know in our area, that's something that's building more. Like we're
Mhm.
seeing more of these like community-based things coming up and being able to, the way that those things continue to grow is by people showing up to them when they're happening.
Yeah, I've been looking at the local libraries to see what
Yeah.
events they have going on, so
Very cool. Use our resources, build our
yes.
community. Thank you guys so much for joining this week.
Bye.